how did the Bulls lose that game? Honestly, going into the last 10 minutes, I was sure that the Bulls were winning that game. What a game, but also what a weird game. It was an amazing game to watch, but it was also really not the smoothest game either. I don't know. It was very entertaining though. From an entertainment perspective, that was a really good game to watch. I mean, a lot of handling errors though, but still, the rugby that was on offer was physical, passionate rugby. I mean, the Sharks got the win at the end of the day. The Bulls fans probably right now are going to be very disappointed. I know how the Bulls fans work. They're probably going to be calling for the coach to get changed, but Bulls fans, give the coach some time. Give the coach some time. Sometimes the coach can only do so much. Sometimes the players have to be made accountable. I honestly think at the end of that game, it was not just a coaching thing that the Bulls lost. I think it was a player thing as well. I think the Bulls just didn't get stuck in enough at the end, and I think they just got out gritted by the Sharks. The Sharks just hung in there much longer and were able to get the win. Obviously, a few lucky bounces and stuff, but that's how it works in these derby games. You have to have a lucky bounce go your way, or a bounce of the ball, or a pass, or a missed tackle or something go your way. And that's just how it worked for the Sharks today. But I mean, first half, Bulls looked fully in control. It was an okay first half. It was quite a slow first half. The crowd weren't really into that much. But then the second half came, and wow, that second half was one of the better second halves of rugby I've seen in a long time. I wouldn't say from a quality perspective, but from an entertainment perspective, that was a really quality second half to watch. Just thinking back to the first half, the Bulls got a bit more dominance up in scrum time. I think once Volkulo and Gerard Steenkamp came off, the tide really changed a bit for the Bulls. I mean, you could just see Embrace Papi, every time he put the ball in, he'd be strolling to the back of the scrum because the Bulls' scrum would be so dominant against the Sharks. But I will say the young Sharks front row really hung in there, except for Bongi and Manambi, the two young props from the Sharks really hung in there. Well, I mean, they did the best they could. I mean, Volkala and Gerard Steenkamp have been doing that to international front rows, international scrums over the past season. So, I mean, they did well to hang in there. But, I mean, this win was huge for the Sharks, just for the mentality, for the young players. If you think about all the young players, it was Patu Ganyani, Mdanda, Nick Hatton, Romayo, Ethan Hooker, Hakeem Kunene, Pepsi Buthelezi, Vincent Uchuka, all these young players. This was such a big win for them. Emil van Heerden, players like that, getting a win like this against a quality Bulls team that had the likes of Avelkulo, Johan Grobler, Gerard Steenkamp, Kobus Visser, Elrich Lowe, I mean, Jean-Andre Rudolph as well. Jean-Andre Rudolph has been one of the best signings for the Bulls that they could have made this season. I think he should be in the starting lineup every weekend, and he is absolutely quality. I mean, I was talking about his game he had against Bordeaux. I thought he was probably my man of the match as well as Paul de Vet from the Bulls' perspective. But even today, he got the man of the match in a losing effort. And you normally only get the man of the match in a losing effort if you have an absolutely outstanding game. So I think hats off to Jean-Andre Rudolph. He was phenomenal today. The Bulls team did well today. I mean, JJ Taron also impressed me a bit, but just in the second half fell away. I mean, with these derby games, you have to just be stuck in and get really stuck in and stay in the fight till the end. And it just seems like the Sharks stayed in the fight longer. I know in the first half, it just seemed like the Bulls kept pressuring the Sharks. The Sharks hung in there, and just because they hung in there, they were able at the end of the game to be in a position to still win the game. And I mean, bringing in a guy like George Whitehead, a calm figure who's won the Currie Cup, who's played rugby for my whole life. I feel like George Whitehead's been playing professional rugby, and he's a good player, and he's been a really good signing for the Sharks. Bringing on a cool head like that, I mean, with his first touch of the ball, puts a pinpoint perfect up and under on. When you bring a player like that on, you know you can end the game strong. So I mean, very good move from JB Peterson to bring him on at the end of the game, because he added a lot of sense of calmness and really like stability into the game. I thought from the Sharks' perspective, the handling errors were poor. They probably had way more opportunities, but somehow they just stuck in there and got the win. But I mean, looking at it now from a full-time whistle, Sharks can be very happy that they got the win there. It was a very 50-50 game. Physical, what you expect from a URC derby. I really wish I could have been at the stadium today in Durban, but I live in the UK now. But I really wish I could have been there. It looked like an absolutely electric atmosphere. The crowd was going awesome. It was going nuts. It was awesome. Halftime, I saw also with all the lights, it looked amazing. So that's what you want from the URC. You want full stadiums like that. And I know it said it was sold out, and it didn't look completely sold out. But I mean, if you think for a domestic game like that, to have around 40 to 50,000 fans, that's a very good turnout for a game like that. And I think the Sharks will be really happy. I think JB Peterson as well, he'll be much happier than Johan Ackerman tonight. I think JB Peterson has made some really good decisions in his first 2 weeks in charge. The two biggest decisions probably being Ethan Hooker and Esterhuizen, keeping them as together as a combination in the centres, really keeping that cohesion, getting them to gel together. And I think they've been very solid in the midfield. And they probably could be one of the most solid centre pairs in the URC this season, which could take them far. And I also think the George Whitehead start last week and bringing him off the bench with about 20 minutes to go this week was a huge call, but a very positive call by JP Peterson. So, I mean, he's already made some very good decisions, very good coaching calls. And it's going to be tough to see what they do now at the Bulls. I mean, I don't think they have to change much. They're just losing games by small margins, and there's just little things going wrong for them. They're not a bad team. To be honest, I'm not sure how the Bulls actually lost that game, because right now we can look at the final score and be like, oh, the Sharks deserve to win that. But if you look at the whole game, I thought that the Bulls were going to win it most of the time. And I'm a Sharks fan. I've grown up a Sharks fan, but I'm saying this from a non-biased perspective. I thought the Bulls were going to win that game quite comfortably at a stage. So yeah, disappointment for Bulls fans, disappointment for the Bulls organization tonight, but they can bounce back next week against the Stormers. I think if the Bulls next week can end the Stormers' unbeaten streak, that could be huge for them, and I think that's going to be an absolutely mega game at Loftus Versfeld. I think it's going to be huge. Then looking to the other side of things, Lions are going to want to get on the board for another win. I mean, today they had a bit of a disappointing loss to the Stormers. They're going to want to get a win against the Sharks next week, and the Sharks are going to want to keep up their form because they've had 2 good wins in a row now, and it's going to be very interesting to see what happens between those two next week. So looking forward to next week. I might do a bit of a player ratings for this game, and I'll do a bit more of an in-depth review based on the 2 games that happened, the South African games this weekend, and obviously the Glasgow game. But yeah, massive game, massive win for the Sharks. Really positive. JB Peterson and his crew are going to be very happy. Bulls fans, I'm sorry. I feel sorry for you because I honestly thought you were going to win that game. Bulls players, Jean-Andre Rudolph, absolute standout from the Sharks' perspective. I mean, some really good performances as well. But yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe to help the channel grow, guys, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.